go we will. Friday. Hello, guys. I hope you've had a good week. Lucy Connolly's had a great week. I've just spent the last hour and a half watching an interview on Dan Wootton's channel. I'm going to show you a cheeky little clip of that later. I've got a few things lined up to show you a little bit later. And so far, so good. We're live, we're running, and you guys are, oh bloody hell. I've updated my monitor on my left-hand side, and every time the mouse or the cursor goes on it, I can't get it back off again, so I have to turn that monitor off. But that's where my chat backup is. Anyway, speaking of the chat, that's where I'm headed for now. Bear with me, I can't find it. I've got so many different scenes. Right, that's as good as I can get it, is putting, I don't even know if you can read that. It looks like it might be too small. Can I get that any bigger? I can probably make it like that. That'll work. It's not ideal, but there we go. And I can't put individual messages on the screen yet. There are a couple of ways of doing that, but I haven't worked it out yet. My plan was to spend a couple of hours doing that this evening, but I'm sorry, I got drawn into the interview with Lucy Connolly. And very interesting that was too. There is a link in the description of this video for you to go. Not now, it's an hour and a half, and it ends very abruptly. Don't know why. It was a recorded interview, so I'm pretty sure Dan and his production team didn't mean for it to end the way it did, but it did, which I thought was quite interesting. Anyway, Paul, good evening, mate. I hope you're all right. I won't say anything other than I think you might owe someone an apology, my old mate. But you're welcome to the channel. It's good to have you here. You've been a friend of the channel for a long time, and I'm pleased that you're still here. Let me just say that. But I do think you owe someone an apology, my old mate. Mother Hag, hello. I meant to come and see you today for a cup of tea, but I just didn't get around to it. I'll pop in tomorrow. We're going out for lunch on Sunday anyway, but I haven't seen you since Sunday. So yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Lucinda, hello. How are you? Hi guys. I want to see Russ at his very best. Don't expect me to do any reading then, because I'm not very good at that. And of course, some serious matters. That is, sorry if I am still awake. You're probably more awake than I am right now, Lucinda. I'm not very good. The monitor I'm looking at is teeny tiny, and the words are just very small, so please forgive me. I'm not the best reader in the world anyway. Who else is here? Cat Scan, hello, good evening, Russ and all. Vic is my oldest friend that I've only just met. Joke can only work for so long, but I still like it. I hope you're well, my friend Vic. Good to see you, mate. Cat, Paul, Kiwi wife, hello there. Thank you very much for being here. Anyone seen Blood Nose? I hope he's all right. And that's that as far as the chat's concerned. Right, I can get rid of it on there. I'll come back to the chat a little bit later, and I want to see if this works. Talk about luck. This guy wins a $273 million lottery straight after his wife divorced him. He's had a good week. I wonder what supermodel's going to be on his arm next week. Yeah, well, good luck to the man. Good luck to him. So yeah, Professor Alice Roberts, she, you may or may not know who she is, but she does a lot of the archaeology digs around Britain. I think it's Digging for Britain is one of hers, but I like her. She's got a very friendly intelligent way of explaining intellectual things the way that I can understand them. But she put this post up earlier in the week. Thanks, Google AI, but I meant to type shut. The answer she got from AI was no, the Clifton Suspension Bridge is not shit. It is a historic and iconic bridge in Bristol. I went to university just the other side of that bridge, and it was open then. So I'm only assuming that some people have reported that it was closed. Again, I was going to go into it and find a little bit more detail, but I didn't do that. So I just thought I'd bring you that bit of a giggle there. What you guys been up to this week? There was a story that I don't think I've got lined up. Let me just see if there was a story about somebody went into their attic, and because I don't have the premium on X anymore, my bookmark. Hey, here it is. Here it is. I can show you. I found it. I can't believe it. They went up into their attic, and a carpenter found a really interesting note from 1975 while he was working on this house. There's a note there from 9/29/1975, and in this little bottle here was that note there. And it's basically a story of a 14-year-old girl explaining that her mum is a really good mum. She lives in the house with her sisters and her brother and her father. And Gerald Ford was in the White House at the time. And following on, somebody has actually found the lady in question. And there was an article about, is that it? No. This is what I mean when I hadn't, I've literally just found this now in my bookmarks. I had it all lined up earlier, but then I had to reset the computer because OBS shat itself a little bit. No, anyway. But the person that wrote that has actually come forward, and there's a whole story about it. If I find it, I'll put it in the community post later in the week, and you can have a little cheeky look at that yourselves. I know most of you aren't on X, so you probably won't see it on X anyway. I'll have a look and see if there's somewhere else that has this story. He says out loud as he's lining something else up. Right, let's go to Lucy Connolly. She, as you're fully aware, has been released from prison. And this evening she gave her first exclusive interview. It's, as I said at the beginning, it's quite it's a very interesting interview, actually. She sat down with Dan Wootton. Again, the link is in the description below. And I just wanted to talk about the left hypocrisy. This is Femi saying, today the right wing welcomes home a terrorist with open arms. Good God, Femi. Tomorrow they'll claim to care about national security to justify targeting black and brown people. Lucy Connolly was one of the instigators in the most widespread terror crises in years. Right-wing terrorism, he says. I mean, he's not the only one. You got Narinder Kaur, who suggests that anyone who publicly supports and uses journalistic media to advocate burning women and children alive in their beds should be stripped of any entitlement to broadcast. Hang your head in shame, Dan. Obviously, that's a direct. As you can see there, I've blocked Narinder. I've only gone there because I saw Dan Wootton actually referring to it in his interview with Lucy earlier. But these people are absolutely diabolical. I mean, she says here that Lucy was advocating burning women and children alive in their beds. That is not what she advocated, if that's the right word. She, besides having deleted the post after just a couple of hours, she posted it, took the dog for a walk, got back and thought, do you know what? Maybe that's not a great idea, and deleted it. And if you remember, on her post, she actually said, "For all I care," which isn't a direct call for violence. It's just a flippant remark. All right, not the wisest thing to say publicly, but if you was to say that in a peaceful, quiet conversation amongst friends, it would be considered a flippant remark. Well, she certainly didn't deserve to have 2.5 years in prison. Okay, she didn't serve 2.5 years in prison, but let's have a little cheeky look at the clip I've got here of the interview that she did with Dan, if I can find it. Where did I put it? Bear with me. Might be long. You can have a little look at that while I'm finding it. Is it on there? No, it's not on there. Might be long. Is it? No. I can't find where I've put it. How can I see my sources without going through all of these? No, I know it's not on these two, and I know it's not on that one. Oh, I know that one. I know it's not on that one. I know it's not. Oh, it is on that one. Why is it on that one? Ah, okay. Let's take that. Oh, no, wrong one. I'm good at this, aren't I?
Vile things about you. The first is this guy. I describe him as the anti-Brexit virgin, Femi Olawale.
Oh, Femi, yeah.
And I mean, personally, I've been saying, I think you need to sue this guy's ass, because I'm going to tell you what he said, Lucy. Personally, I believe this crosses a line, but I'll leave it to you. He has written about you. Today, the UK right wing welcomes home a terrorist with open arms. Tomorrow, they'll claim to care about national security to justify targeting black and brown people. Lucy Connolly was one of the instigators of the most widespread terror crises in years, right-wing terrorism. Your response?
Where does it say anything about black or brown people? In my tweet,
Doesn't.
where does it say anything about black or brown people on the boards of the mums and the grandmas outside hotels saying they want these people moved on? I'd like someone to point that out to me, because I'm yet to see that. People bring this race into everything. It's not about race. They could be from anywhere and any colour, and it wouldn't make a difference. The fact that people are worried is the fact that they are not vetted. They are coming in, and we do not know where they've come from, what they may or may not have done in countries where they don't treat women and children like we do here. That is a fact. And I'm not for 1 second suggesting that everybody coming in a boat's a rapist and a murderer and all of those things. And most of them are going to be decent people wanting a better quality of life.
Well, but many are.
But many are not.
Many are. I mean, we are importing on a daily basis rapists, terrorists, murderers, and the country's view on that has changed while you've been behind bars, and I do want to come to that.
Why are they more important than my child? I don't understand. That's how I would put it. Why is somebody illegally coming in, knowing they're illegally coming
in? And having that
country,
view doesn't make you a terrorist, does it?
It just means that I want my children and other people's children to grow up in a safe world.
Will you consider legal action against Femi Olawale for describing you as a
Part of me
terrorist?
thinks,
Please do.
I've no interest in what that idiot that I blocked about 5 years ago has said about me. Our views don't align. He's a race baiter. He's an attention seeker. He doesn't know me. He can say what he likes about me. I suppose I could. I suppose I would have a case of it. But you know what? I've just spent a year away from my family. The last thing I'm going to do is take any notice of a plonker like him. Yeah.
Now. What about the Daily Mirror, though? Because, I mean, this is a national...
Yeah. I think that's quite admirable, really, the way that she's not too bothered about what he says. But, Lucy, you are, whether you like it or not, you are a voice for every one of us, because you were the political pawn in Stalin's, the right honourable Keir Stalin. He used you. You were a political prisoner. And she says at the end of the interview that she wants to be a voice for those women that she's left behind in prison. I don't think we've heard the last of Lucy Connolly. Wouldn't it be great if she goes to London on the 13th of September and she's asked to speak? That would be marvellous. Why am I still tiny in the bottom corner? Let's get rid of Starmer Hussein. One tormented his people and jailed them for no reason. The other guy is Saddam Hussein. Yeah. What have you guys got to say about that then? Let's have a cheeky little look. I'll put your comments on screen if I can. You can't read those. Can you read those? Is it, I don't know. I'll leave them up and I'm going to put my comments on my monitor so I can see what you're doing. Blood Nose is here. Hello, mate. And I think I also saw, Yorkshire Pud, there she is. Yep, Yorkshire Pud's here. And Sylvia's gone to have dinner. She's with family. I'll say hello, Sylv, and you'll be watching again on Catch Up. Sorry I missed you. Kiwi Wife says, notwithstanding, there are no women and kids in these hotels. Yeah, but I'm assuming you're not making any reference there to whether or not those hotels should be burnt down with people in them. Knowing you the way I do, of course, that's not what you're suggesting. You're suggesting that there are simply no women and children in any of these hotels. She's not suggesting that any of these hotels get burnt down. I've just had a comment on the previous video that I did, was it not last week, but the week before when I was live at Chichester. Someone who works with a charity or charities, with the women and the families that are in those hotels. She thinks it's abhorrent that so-called, she says, so-called men and women. How can you say? I'm sorry if you're watching this, but that is a silly thing to say. So-called men and women. They are either men or women. What else? In your speak, it's so-called far right, because they're not far right, but they are men and they are women. Not only that, they are husbands, they are fathers, they are mothers, they are wives, and they are children. So you've got all of those demographics outside the hotels as you have inside the hotels. And most of those people have arrived here illegally. And this is the problem that we have got. If you are in the country illegally, and you've thrown away your documents because you're here illegally, and you want to try and lie and say that you're somewhere or you're from somewhere that your life is in danger should you go back there, then it's quite simple. How do you explain travelling through 9, 10, 11, 12 countries before you get to the UK? Point number one. Point number two, how is it justified that our homeless citizens, whether they are veterans, whether they are just unemployed, fallen on tough times, divorced, kicked out of their house, for whatever reason, they are British citizens who have paid tax, whether they are now or not, and if they're homeless, you would argue that they're not paying tax. They can't even claim universal credit or anything like that because they don't have a fixed abode. So how is it that these people cannot be given a leg up and somewhere to live when hotels are having their planning permission changed to accommodate asylum seekers and illegal migrants. I'm sorry, no one is going to be able to convince me that it's a good idea. And you can argue until you're blue in the face and you still won't convince me. I'm sorry. If that makes me a far-right thug or a racist or a hooligan, then you need to change your definition of all of the above. It's as simple as that. There is no one better than you, Kiwi wife. Every time I get called racist, I call Godwin's law. Sorry, I'm thinking of Matt Goodwin's lawyer. Yeah, Godwin's law. Blood knows it has been a long week in my world, mate, especially at work. Yeah, I know. One of the things dealing with hit media, albeit in an... Please don't use long words. Fortunately, it wasn't something for me to read out. Tommy is a legend. Yep. Russ, I find it weird how the mainstream media has gone quiet regarding Keir Starmer's Rent Boys. I don't find that weird, Pud. They were never going to make a big loud noise about that, were they? They're on his side. I find it weird that the mainstream media is still a thing. People still read it and believe it. Michael Hancock's just arrived. Hello, mate. Worried that I've got 4 empty houses around me. Jack D used to do a great sketch that when an empty house next to him had an estate agent take people round there to have a look, he'd stand in the back garden with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and an old string vest, and he'd scratch his nuts and he'd go, "Hello, you'll like it here. Have you got any kids?" And his house would stay empty. So you could take a leaf out of Jack D's book. Obviously, everything I just said is completely comical, and yeah, I just feel like I need to cover myself for some stupid reason. MSM is brainwashed propaganda. Yeah, difficult to disagree with that, Paul. Trouble is, I don't have anything to do with the mainstream media. The only time I ever see any BBC is if I'm at Mother Hagg's. Unfortunately, she still watches her news from the BBC. Nah, never mind. Although I will say BBC Radio is probably among the best still. I do listen to Radio 4 if I'm on a long journey in the car. I used to do that in the truck. Cheryl Reeves, hello. Kiwi wife, I want Britain to be Britain again. Everyone should celebrate their own culture to the full in their own nations and not be whipped for it. Yes. Has anyone seen an influx of national flags in your area? I'd be keen to find out if that's been happening. I know there is one mini roundabout in Bexhill that used to get a red cross on it when England were in the World Cup, but that hasn't happened yet. Mind you, all the white, the white circle of a mini roundabout, there's hardly any white there at the moment, so that'd be a tough one. Vic, how can I be a racist when I can hardly walk? No racing in that. I listen to Radio 4 too. Yes, Radio 4's okay. But the news you get from the radio is still biased if you get it on anywhere really. No matter where you get it, it's biased. I'm going to take advantage of the offer at Ground News. If I'm going to carry on doing daily stories, I say carry on. I haven't done one for this whole week. Last week, after my live stream, which went so well, as I'm sure you can all remember, it was 23 minutes in before you actually before I actually got online, and I know I've learnt what happened. Long story short, it was my fault. not OBS. So yeah, and I confirmed that because tonight worked. So there, I did a different thing last week, and I won't be doing it like that again. So you know, every week you learn something new. Yeah, last weekend. What happened last weekend? Oh yeah, this is what happened last weekend. On Friday, we had VJ Day, and I was at the Veteran Sub. And because that was during the day, I'm pretty sure I must have told you about that last week. But Saturday, that was a little bit different. We had a visit from the Lancaster, who did a flypast. Who I'm referring to it as a he or a she. Yeah, the Lancaster gave us a fly past, and it was really spectacular. Actually, it was fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Let me get rid of those screens because they're kind of annoying me a little bit. There we go. Now I recorded a video for it, and I did it for the Veterans Hub and Bexhill Town Council. I edited it, and yesterday I uploaded it for the Veterans Hub and for Bexhill Town Council to use. And tonight I am showing it to you guys. Yeah, that'd be the wrong button, Russ. Tonight I'm showing it to you guys for the first time. So sit back, turn the volume up because the sound is beautiful. Well, when you hear the Lancaster's engines, shut up, Russ. Play the video. Wow. That still gives me goosebumps. It's probably one of the best videos I've recorded or edited. And certainly the star of the show was the Lancaster. But I think that music, it took me a long time to find that music. It's all licensed by Storyblocks. So I'm free to use that because I've paid for the license basically. So yeah, happy with that. And I hope you like it too. That will be available on the channel as its own video after this live stream has finished. It's unlisted at the moment, purely for the use of Town Council and the Veterans Hub, so they could enjoy it. So when you do see it, it's probably had about 70 views before you get to see it. And that'll be the reason why. Otherwise, you have just had the exclusive live premiere. It sounds better than it is, doesn't it? So, thank you, Bloodnose. Great work, mate. Breathtaking. I used to live near Vancouver. You're all having your own little chinwag here. I used to live near Vancouver Island. That's done that thing again on the iPad, and I can't get the bloody... There we go. Can't get the cursor off, so I can't move back over to here. What are you talking about, you lovely lot? If I put that on there, then you'll know that I'm looking at your chat. I don't know if you... Can you read that chat on the screen? At least you can just about see yourselves. I like it when I can find a chat and stick it on the... like what Bloodnose used to do for me when I was in StreamYard. They used to put the comments on the screen, and yeah, but there is a way for me to do that in OBS. I just haven't got around to working out the best way for me without confusing myself even more, which doesn't take long. That was great, Russ. Good music too. Thank you, Don. Hello, Don. Who else is here? I noticed Pip's just joined us. Hello, Pip. And thank you, Joe, for that naughty £5. I shall give that to Mother Hag tomorrow, and I'm not sure what she's going to do with it. When was the last time you gave me pocket money, Mother? Oh, I was talking about pocket money. Anyway, that was Saturday, on last Saturday. What did I do on Sunday? I can't remember what I did on Sunday. I went out for lunch with Mother Hag, and then went for... Did I go for a bike ride? I think I did. Not a long one. Monday, I went for a bike ride. I went to Dorset because my nephew has just bought his first flat, and I went to go and have a look. And it is gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. So he's been busy building his wardrobes. He's measured up for his sofa and his bed and all the rest of it. He carried a massive 40 kilogram, probably more than that, mattress on his back. I mean, he's built like a brick shithouse, my nephew. Very fit. Good lad. It reminds me a lot of me when I was his age, but he's more toned than I was. I was never a brick shithouse. Never. But when I was in the army and I had no choice, I was a much better shape than I am now. And yeah, little git. So if you're watching, Henry, this is where you're headed in 35 years' time. 35 years ago, probably, hang on, how old am I now? I'm 54. So when was I a teenager? Oh, crying, I'm so crap with everything. I just want to find my calculator. This is such an easy one. I've done it in my head already. 54 minus, and I'm going to work it out, aren't I? 30. That'll take me to, 24. So 30, yeah, 34 years ago, I was 20. So more than that, probably another 5 years on top of that when I was about 15. So yeah, 29 years ago. Crikey. In fact, it goes back a lot longer than that. What am I trying to tell you? I met up with some mates one of whom lives in Australia now. Selfish bastard. But he's over here for a few weeks to see his mother-in-law. Les Dawson would never have approved of that, but that's what he's done. He's brought his wife, obviously. So yeah, they are over here, and he always meets up with schoolmates and mates when we were teenagers, and that's exactly what we did. Was it yesterday? We met up with two other old friends of ours and went for a breakfast, and it was just wonderful. I think it was last week we were talking about how rare it is to have friends for more than like 9 years. I can't. Please remind me in the comments if you remember that. I look 30. Paul, go to Specsavers, me old mate. Look 30, but I'll take it. You're 46, are you? Oh, cool, blimey. Yeah, I think it was last week we were talking about how rare it is to have friends of like a really long time, and I said, well, actually, I've got several friends from school, and I wasn't making it up. It's true story. One of my friends from school, Charlotte, her name is, we were at infant school together. So I've known her for nearly 50 years. Wow. I've known Charlotte for getting on 49 years. Wow. That's a bloody long time, isn't it? Wow. So yeah. I've known Dave. We were at school. He moved here in 79. We were at the same school from 79. So that's quite a long time. And then when we went to seniors, we met up with these other two that we met up with. And so we've known them for 35 years, or maybe a little bit more. And it's just scary. They've got like obviously families and their kids are in their 30s. It's just, my daughter's 20. I was a late starter having kids, and it blows my mind, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm genuinely excited about rekindling these old friendships, because the things that we were talking about, we could have been talking about at 16, and there's just a beautiful mutual respect. There's no pussyfooting around each other. You can say what's on your mind. You're not going to upset anyone. You can just be you, and that is priceless, isn't it? It's like me talking to this camera. I'm not sitting here talking to a camera. I'm sitting here talking to you, because you have been on this channel chatting to me for, 4 years now? How long have you guys, just put a number according to the years in the comments, how long you have been on this channel as part of this community? And we can all shock and surprise ourselves. Now, I used to refer to you as Wonderful Weirdos, but then we took the 10 months hiatus for reasons I won't go into. And you may or may not have noticed that I don't call you Wonderful Weirdos anymore. Since 2020, Blood knows you were the first. You have been a moderator from 2 months in. 2 months after I started the channel. And we need to talk more, Blood knows. We used to talk a lot more than we do now. And I know whose fault that is. That's completely my fault, and I will change that. So anyway, Wonderful Weirdos. How about, I've asked AI to give me an alternative, and it said Wonderful Wackos, and I wasn't happy with that. Marvelous Misfits. That was quite good. Glorious Goofballs. That's a very Americanism, isn't it? I'm not keen on that. Delightful Dingbats. That's another Americanism. I think Wonderful Weirdos is up there with the best. I mean, we are all weird in our own way, if we're honest, aren't we? Or when you and Andy the cabbie had your coffee. Oh, okay, Lucinda, sorry. Since the King's coronation, at least. That was, crikey. I can't even remember what year that was. 3 years ago? I remember it was May the 5th. I think that was May the 5th, 2023. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Yeah. Oh, someone will tell us. Kiwi Wife, December 2022. I think I came to this channel. You guys, I mean, a lot of you have been here for I was going to say longer than me. Welcome to my world. But I love it. I respect you all individually. We've all got a really good relationship going on. There's a mutual respect both ways. When I'm not feeling up to it, you guys cheer me up, and I know, and it's one of the things that I beat myself up about when I'm anxious and I don't want to come online. I say to myself, yeah, but they'll make me feel better, but I don't want to use you to make me feel better, and you can use me to make you feel better. It's a two-way street. The door opens both ways. I started the channel because I started therapy, and I thought, well, maybe I can help people who are in the same boat. But I'm by no means a therapist. I'm by no means a psychiatrist of any medical description whatsoever. And I just felt that I wasn't the right person to give advice on that type of thing. So I tried to change the format of the channel. And I don't mind admitting, I was lost, and to a large degree I still am. But thanks to people like Paz, Kiwi Wife, who's helped me a lot in the background, even Andy the Cabbie gave me a bit of a kick in the right direction. What I'm trying to say is, when I get, especially from Paz, because he's got such a large audience, well, Andy's got a big audience as well, but Paz has given me a big push recently. But when I get like a major influx of new subscribers, I kind of get overwhelmed, and it has a negative effect on me, and I don't want to come back. I'm like, it's imposter syndrome. It's the best way I can explain it. And I say to myself, well, who the hell are you to be talking to these people about what's going on? But then I go out or I see other videos like British Landia. I love his channel. The way that he expresses in such an educated, easy to understand, personable manner. All he's doing is taking his dog for a walk, walking through a field and saying it as it is, which is, I know what you guys are going to say. You want me to do more dog walks and that type of thing. And I should. I know I should. I should jump on my bike and just go somewhere where there's nobody else about and talk to a camera and edit the video and upload it. Because I know that we need more patriotic voices. We absolutely do. So that will be happening more. It will be happening more. Yes, more walks. I know what you guys want. I know what the YouTube algorithm wants, and I know from looking at the analytics what I need to be doing, and I give myself no excuses. Well, I have a couple of things more to share with you. Where are we? Here we are. Are you ready for the AI videos? Oh, okay.
That's really impressive, Mr. Smith, but I said I wanted to listen to your heart.
Mr. Jones, you need to stop masturbating.
Oh dear, why is that then?
Because I'm trying to examine you.
You've got to help me, Doctor. I can't stop eating. Okay, just wait there a second. There we go.
Hi, Mr. Wilson. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Well, get out of my office then.
I'm afraid to tell you this, but it looks like you're pregnant.
I'm nearly 80. How can I be pregnant?
You're not. You just look like you are.
It's the T-shirts that grab me. Doobies.
I feel like a pair of curtains.
Well, you're quite clearly mentally ill then.
Doctor, I've got a problem. I always have a shit at 6:30 every morning.
Why is that a problem?
Well, I don't wake up till 8. I have bad news. You have cancer and Alzheimer's disease. That is bad news, but on the bright side, at least I don't have cancer.
Feet hurt, my joints.
I must have missed that one earlier.
I'm always tired and I get out of breath very easy.
Yes, that's because you're really fat. Time for your prostate exam, Mr. Dixon. Any questions? Yes, one question. Is there a doctor available with smaller fingers? It really hurts.
The size of that doctor's hands.
Well, maybe you should stop doing that then.
Oh dear, oh dear.
What's the matter, Doctor? Am I going to be okay?
Yes, you're fine, but I've just realised I'm using one of the rectal thermometers. Doctor, my penis is too girthy.
I don't think there's much I can do about that.
Yes, I know, but my wife needs something for her jaw ache.
Oh my God.
Mr. Jones, your test results came back very positive. Well, that's good news then. No, it was a HIV test. I've tried everything.
I bet you haven't tried exercising or eating salad, though, have you?
Can I have some advice on how to take my suppositories?
Shove them up your ass.
Well, there's no need to talk to me like that. I only asked you a question, you rude prick.
I can't feel my legs. Yes, that's because I've just amputated your arm.
I don't know what's going on. I keep finding these postage stamps from Colombia in my vagina.
That's not a postage stamp. That's a sticker from a banana.
I think I'm trying to get it up for my wife. Don't worry too much, sir. I'd struggle to get an erection with your wife too.
Oh, speaking of the devil, there he is. Ah, dear, oh dear. I love those. Aren't they just the best? There's another channel that does them, but they're not as good. You need to go to Artifical Idiots. The link is in the description down there. They haven't got many on their channel. I think it's a fairly new one, couple of months, but oh my God, they are funny. They are so funny. I hope they don't mind me sharing them, but because it's AI, there's no copyright claim. So I've put a link. I've done all I can. I've reached out to them to ask for permission. They haven't written back. So, you know, what can I do? I'm going to try and send them some traffic. But yeah, a good British sense of humour. Absolutely, Tina. Hello, Tina. I missed you earlier. Yeah, they are. They're brilliant. That's what we miss, innit? Good British sense of humour. While we're still allowed to do it, why not? Right. I think that is it. I've done Alice Roberts. I've showed you the Lancaster video. So what else are you lot saying? What have I missed? Fat people are harder to kidnap. I mean, those T-shirts are just bob on. They are just so funny. I just say, do not see a doctor. I like the Alzheimer's. That was just brilliant. At least I haven't got cancer. They're stupid, aren't they? They are stupid. Walk along the seafront, please. What, now? I used to fly my St. George's, but it doesn't quite work in America. Maybe not so much since 1776. Got to be done. Yes, I know, mate. I will do it. I know what you're asking for. You want me to go out, record more videos. Well, I'm going to London on the 13th of September, and I will attempt a live stream, or I might just record something for me to edit and put together for you. I'm banking on the signal being pretty crap for the live stream. It might be a better quality video if I was just to record it. And yeah, but the last time I went up there with that in mind, I got the train there, and I went to the pub because it was quite a hot day, and I'm not much of a drinkist. I really don't drink a lot at all. And being a hot day and the excitement of the atmosphere that was going on there anyway, it was like being at a music festival without the music. It was I can't describe it. Everyone you met was a stranger, but they were also your friends. There was no sense of danger. You were surrounded by people that had your back, and it was a beautiful thing. It really was a beautiful thing. Hopefully, the 13th of September will be much the same. I'm sure it will. So, yeah, I have every intention of going there. I shall probably take the bike. That will keep me out the pub. Because the last time I went, I met up with Jeff Taylor in one of the pubs in Trafalgar Square. And that was the end of that. I did actually record a video with him, but you will never see it. I've got it in my library somewhere. I haven't never published it. I haven't even edited it together. And you'll never see it. It was me pretty much drunk. Just not asking the right questions, not in the right frame of mind. And yeah, I know you would love to see that, but you're not going to. Hook up with Paz. Yes, I fully intend to. And I've reached out to British Landia as well. I said if I meet up with him, I'll buy him a coffee for sure. Got a lot of respect for him. Asmund Gold TV. He's only a little channel. He's got like 3.85 million subscribers. Brilliant, down-to-earth geezer in America. He reviewed one of British Landia's videos today. So you can go and have a look at that for an honest outside opinion of British Landia. He's one of my favourite YouTubers at the moment, actually, British Landia, because he is so Asmund is great. I think his name is Jake, or no, Zach. I think his name is Zach. Good lad. He's a credit to your nation, Bloodnose. He's down to earth, says it as it is. He's got a good sense of humour too. So yeah, he's got a lot of respect for British Landia, and I have too. I wrote to him publicly on a post, and I think it might even have been a comment on a video. I said, one day you'll say something I don't agree with, but it hasn't happened yet. Everything he says is already what we are thinking. Definitely like-minded. Russ is very special. Not only his mum saying so do we. Bless your heart, Lucinda. Talk about leaving it on a positive vibe. I like him too. Cool guy. He is a cool guy. Zach on Twitch. Yeah, he's a good lad. I like him a lot. He's definitely someone that pops up on my feed whenever he does a new one. I'm watching Candice Russ. Who's Candace? Is that Candace Owens? Otherwise, I don't know who you would mean. Right. With that, where's Mark? Is it Mark? I haven't seen. No, not Mark. Someone else who's from Dorset. He's not been on the channel for a long time. Anyway, I hope he's well if he's watching. It's not Mark, is it? Blood knows you're always good with names of people that are on here. I remember Debbie from Florida, who used to be here quite a lot. And then they had the hurricane and we didn't hear from her, but we do know that she was okay. She just didn't follow the channel anymore. Anyway, with all that said and done, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's whatever it was. And I will try to bring out some more videos during the week. And go and have a look at that interview with Lucy Connolly, Dan Wootton's interview with Lucy. It was a remarkable hour and a half. Don't remember Mark. I'm pretty sure I got the name wrong. He was here every week. He bought me a steak dinner one year for my birthday, bless him. Pretty sure I upset him. I gave him an answer. He asked me a question that I wasn't sure. I can't even remember the question. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'll see you guys when you're older. Thank you very much for your time and your subscription and the love. Take care. See you soon.
Goodbye.